All right, it's my favorite time of the year, man. It's time to look at the lineups that Bleacher Report drops, like the top players. You know, like they always have like the rankings, like the team rankings, like the starting lineup rankings. That means NBA season it's not that far. We're almost there. About another 4 months. Anyways, let's get straight to it, man. At 30, Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, what the hell just went on? No thanks. Ryan Rollins, Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez, Kyle Kuzma, Miles Turner. That starting lineup is absolutely cheeks. I'm gonna keep it all the way a bean. Garbanzo. I'm not even trying to be that guy and be rude. It's just that five right there screams lottery. Second lineup, Brooklyn Nets. We got Michael Brown Jr., Igor Demon. I can't pronounce his name. Igor Demon. Michael Porter Jr., Julius Randle, Day'Ron Sharpe. I wouldn't say this is necessarily 29. This dude right here is going to take a huge jump this season. He is really good. He's phenomenal. I watched him in Summer League in Sacramento, and I watched him in Vegas. He's good, bro. He's really freaking good. Yeah, I'll put this about 27, 20, 25 around there. It's not as bad as you think. On paper, you're kind of like, these names don't mean nothing, whatever the case may be, but this lineup isn't that bad. 28. Oh, brother. If we're keeping it all the way a bean, okay, let's spend some time on my Sacramento Kings here, okay? I did not know it was 28. I'm going to this raw dog and no clue on who wears what and who is how and when. Sacramento Kings with Darius Acuff Jr., Zach LaVine, DeAndre Hunter, Keegan Murray, DeMontis Sabonis. That realistically is like a 29. I'm a realistic Kings fan. Like that starting five is pretty nasty. Absolutely. We have some height here, DeAndre Hunter, Keegan Murray. But if we have Keegan Murray playing power forward, gosh. No, we have no rim protection. Score 40 on us per quarter. That's what's gonna happen. We can't guard nobody. Like, we need Keegan and DeAndre on the perimeter. And we need a true power forward / center that can pair with DeMontis to be a rim protector. Maxime Reynald. Need a little bit of height in there. A little more height in there. I like Maxime right now, starting with DeMontis. I know they're probably never going to do that, though, because he's getting $50 million and he's getting paid about 28 or so million, and he's got an extension. He's getting paid a lot of money, and this is literally our top 7 draft pick here, so he's going to start off the rip. Our bench, though, was solid. I will say that. We have Malik Monk coming off the bench. We have Neat Clifford coming off the bench. We have Maxime Reynald off the bench. We have who else we have? Dylan Caldwell off the bench. I like him. I like Dylan Caldwell. It's a card. I think it's Caldwell. I'm sure. Anyways, yeah, but this starting five is just, yeah. I don't even want to get into it too much, but yeah, this one more year, Kings fans. One more year. One more. The Grizzlies. Ty Jerome, Jalen Wells, Cedric Howard, Cameron Boozer, Zach Edey. I like it. I actually like where they're at right now. I like 27 for the Memphis Grizzlies. I do. Chicago Bulls, Josh Giddey, Norman Powell, Matas Buzelis, Caleb Wilson, Rookie of the Year, best player in the draft, and Nick Claxton. I don't know, bro. This Bulls team is interesting. Playing for sure. Which playing, that means you could be the 10th seed in the East and be a play-in, which means would be around that 20 overall in the league. Push the pace, score, slasher, could do everything. Rim protector. This Bulls seems interesting. Maybe put them around like the 23, 22, 23. I don't know if 26. I don't know. I think they'd be a little higher. Kobe White, Con Canupa, Brandon Miller, Nas Reed. Yeah, yes. I think you could even flip. In my personal, you could flip flop 25 and 26. You can flip flop those for sure. Darius Garland, Chris Dunn, Brandon Ingram, Rui Hachimura, Brook Lopez in the West. Oh, ill. Ill in the West. Ill. That's a nasty 5. Yes, I like the 3 and D here. You get a score here. Rui, solid. Brooke Lopez is only getting older. Yeah, in the West, that's a nasty 5. Kyrie Irving, Max Christie, Cooper Flag, PJ Washington, Derek Lively Jr. Now their rookie they got, right? Morris Johnson Jr. is actually pretty solid. He might find a way to get in that starting lineup, but I actually do like the veteran Kyrie with veteran PJ at your point guard and power forward. And then Cooper Flag, I think everybody says sophomore slump. There's exceptions to the rule, bro. No sophomore slump for Cooper Flag just because of the way they play. He's gonna be able to get to his spots and do everything he was doing last season. I think he's gonna be even better this season, bro. He was phenomenal in his rookie year. Max Christie, solid 3-and-D type of player that can potentially be a big piece in terms of if they're losing this year, right? If the Mavericks are losing, I think a package of a Kyrie and Max Christie or a Kyrie and something else will be sent somewhere to a contender to allow Kyrie to finish his career, or give him a better shot at winning a ring if the season's not going as planned. So I say by December, you give this starting 5 until about December to see where they're at, and then if it ain't going nowhere, you're already about to get rid of Clay, or damn near you might have already got rid of Clay. I'm not sure if you haven't yet. Got rid of AD that quick. If nothing's shaken by December, January, I wouldn't be surprised if Kyrie's out of there. Wizards, Trae Young, Keyshawn George, AJ DeBanson, Anthony Davis, Alex Sarr. Sleeper team in the East and in the NBA. They're going to be around like that teetering that 9, 8, 7 play-in mark. I have them in the top 20, in my personal opinion, as a starting 5. That's not a bad starting 5 at all, bro. I like that starting 5, to be honest. You get a pick and roll guy, pick and pop with Trae Young, Keyshawn George, a scorer, Asia DeBances. I like that 5 a lot, actually. More than the Pelicans, in my personal opinion. DeJounte Murray, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Zion Williamson, Derek Queen. It's my opinion. I like the Wizards starting 5 over the Pelicans starting 5. By the way, Trey Murphy III. We got to find a way to get him in Sacramento. Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Miles Bridges, Mark Williams. I'm interested to see what Miles Bridges looks like. Phoenix. I actually like the way Dylan Brooks plays, bro. I think he's an enforcer that every team needs. This is right around that area. They're about that 18, 19, 20 for the Phoenix Suns. Love it. 19, Golden State Warriors. Stephen Curry, Brandon Brzezowski, Yaxel Lindenberg, Draymond Green, Chris Porzingis. Moving him back, bro. 22, 23. Warriors are cooked. I think they were the only team this offseason to not add any acquisitions via trade or free agency. And then you have Jimmy Butler recovering from ACL injury. Moses Moody recovering from knee surgery. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't like this lineup. I don't. If that's your anchor, which realistically is going to be Draymond Green, is going to be the anchor, but like if I don't. Sorry. Magic, Jalen Suggs, Desmond Bane, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, Wendell Carter. The thing about the Orlando Magic is just like they're just like low key, like a boring team. But like they're solid though. They're a solid, boring team. If that makes sense. I don't even know how to really kind of explain that. They get the job done somewhat to get to the playoffs, but I tell Amelia this all the time, bro. And this is nothing against the players. It's just I'd rather watch paint dry than watch the Orlando Magic play basketball. But as a starting 5, though, I like this 5 a lot. I do. On paper, I do. Trailblazers. Sleepers. Mind you, they were just in the playoffs last year. They're going to be right around that 15-17 overall when the season's said and done in the NBA. For sure. This is a great place for the Portland Trailblazers to be. Good job, Bleacher Report. Ja Morant, Dame Lillard, Tumani Kamara, Denny Advedita, Donovan Clingan. Yes, sir. He took a huge jump this year. The all-star jump, actually. And I think Ja Morant, to prove a lot of people wrong, man. I think him and Dan can work together pretty well. I think Dan can more so focus on just scoring the ball. And you have your guy like I kind of like it. Rim protector, glass cleaner. Could do a little bit of everything here. 3-and-D guy. I like it. Whoa, Lakers. Luka, Austin Reeves, Quentin Grimes, Sandro, Mamu, and Walker Kessler. We know Luka and AR will work really well. Walker Kessler doesn't demand much. Pick and roll. I'm assuming he's gonna potentially work on pick and popping for sure, but he's a rim protector, glass cleaner too. Walker Kessler had a solid season last year for the games he did play. I think not even a season. I think he played like 5 games, so we can't even count it. So his stats were inflated because I literally think he played 5 games last year. Correct me if I'm wrong. So he had a solid stat average for the games he played, not even a season. He didn't. I don't even count that as years served. Anyways, I'm trolling there. Utah Jazz. Keontae George, Darren Peterson, Larry Markin, and Jaren Jackson Jr., Yusuf Nurkic. Ooh. The Utah Jazz lineup isn't better than the Lakers lineup to me. The Utah Jazz starting 5 isn't better than the Portland Trailblazers to me. The Utah Jazz starting 5 isn't better than the Orlando Magic, in my personal opinion. So I would move the Utah Jazz below 15. In my personal opinion, that's just me. Right? Miami Heat. Donovan Mitchell, Davion Mitchell, Tim Hardaway Jr., Andrew Wiggins, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Bam Adebayo. Now, this is the interesting part about this. Them being this low doesn't mean they won't be a good team. It's just you're ranking the starting 5. Like, you're not ranking the entire team. So I got to also keep that in mind too. On paper, this starting 5 does look a little interesting. But when we look at it, you have a shooter, and he can shoot the ball. You have a guy that can just attack, put pressure on that rim. You have a guy that can play within that mid-range area and Bam Adebayo. He could be your DHO guy, but also Giannis could be your DHO guy. His shoot, Giannis and Bam could pick and roll each other, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, this Miami Heat team is going to be very interesting, bro. It might actually work out. Top 10 though. Top 10 starting 5 though. My personal opinion. That's me. Detroit Pistons. K the Sword, Duncan Robinson, John Collins, Jalen Duren. I low-key like the Heat over them starting 5-wise though, but adding John Collins is a good addition. Huge addition there. I expect Sir Thompson to take another jump this year. He almost has to. They do need just a little more scoring and production outside of Cade Cunningham, because we saw in the playoffs Jalen Duren was very limited. He hasn't even re-signed yet. His stock is literally going lower and lower the day by day, because remember, he was supposed to be getting a max sign and trade from the Kings and all these other teams, and then the Lakers he was talking to, and then Lakers get Walker Kessler. The Kings say, yeah, pretty much this deal's not going nowhere, or Jalen Duren, whatever the case. Anywho, the Kings Jalen Duren just it didn't go nowhere. That I can't freaking talk about. I'm freaking Bugs Bunny. That's all, folks. But what I'm saying is, like, Jalen Duren talks with the Kings ended. Jalen Duren talked with the Lakers ended. So Jalen Duren lost all of his leverage that quick. He is now a restricted free agent, and he's in a freaking stalemate with the Pistons, who are pretty much the only team that will acquire him this season. I think everybody else kind of already filled out their roster. Now, this is the time of the year where you kind of fill out your mid-level, your vet minimums and things of that nature, your two-way contracts. Jalen Duren is in no man's land right now, man. It's kind of bet on himself, and the Pistons are kind of saying, we're not budging. This is what we're offering, and we'll see what gets done over there. T-Wolves, LaMelo, Ant-Man, Ayo, Jaden McDaniels, Rudy Gobert. That's a top 10 to 11 starting lineup. I like it. Playmaker. Ant-Man off the ball. Can't double. Can't double. He's going to get more usage. Usage rate's going to increase by 30 to 40% without Nas Reed. And Rudy Gobert, not a high usage player. Rim protect, rebound, pick and roll, pick and lob. Lob threat. I like that T-Wolves roster. I do. Celtics, Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Paul George, Jason Tatum, Mitchell Robinson. This team is better than what people are giving them credit for. Yeah, you lost JB, and I know I was the one saying it, but when you really take the feelings out of it, bro, adding Paul George to this roster, a guy who really can be a third fiddle, he'll be fine being a third fiddle. Kind of was in Philly. Between Tyrese and Paul George. Tyrese and Embiid. You got main option, and then you could split that second option between either Peyton or Paul George, but like Paul George is gonna fit. He's gonna fit right in. This is a huge addition though. All he needs to do is work on his free throw, and he could play the longevity of the game. Huge addition. I love the Boston Celtics starting five. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's a top 7 starting five to me. Toronto Raptors. Emmanuel Quigley, RJ Barrett, Kawhi Leonard, Scotty Barnes, Jakob Poeltl. I like the Celtics starting five more than theirs. I don't know if I like Minnesota more than the Raptors starting five wise. Like, I'd be tripping. That's actually, yeah. I like the Celtics starting five more, and then I might personally, just personal preference, might throw in that T-Wolves starting five over this. But Kawhi Leonard is a huge addition here. He still hasn't even signed on thing because of the investigation going on. So we'll see what happens with that. The Houston Rockets, Fred VanVleet. Yes, they get their point guard back. Here we go. Amin Thompson, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen Sengun. This is actually a great spot. This is where they need to be. Right there. Love that. Atlanta Hawks, TJ McCollum, Now, Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, Onyeka Okongwu. They're like the only team, I think, to beat the Knicks twice, I think. Or beat it, I think, yeah. In the playoffs. Are they the only team to beat the Knicks in the playoffs? They beat them. Knicks, I think, in 6. Knicks sweep the Cavs. Knicks beat the Pistons. No, the Knicks beat Hawks. I'm missing it. I'm blanking on another team. Oh my gosh. Hawks, someone, and then the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think they swept them, and then they swept. No. I'm sorry. Knicks won in. Am I blanking right now? Did the Knicks sweep Spurs? Dad brain kicking it. Hold on. Knicks. They won in 5. Okay, I'm about to say, my bad. The Hawks team wasn't the only team. I think the only team to beat them twice. There it is. Only team to beat them twice. There we go. To me, this starting five on paper isn't better than Houston. It's better. I think it's better than Toronto. Definitely not, my personal opinion, not better than the Celtics. Could argue the T-Wolves could be right there. The Pistons, yeah. The Heat, you can argue the Heat have a better starting five than the Atlanta Hawks. But hey, Cleveland Cavaliers, wow. The same team they're returning. So I guess chemistry on that adds favoring to it. James Harden hasn't re-signed yet, but he will. Since that LeBron has not signed with the Cavaliers. Don't get me wrong though. The Cavs aren't a top 7 team in the NBA, in my personal opinion, but they'll be a top 15, top 13. No, my bad. They'll be a top 12 team in the league. They'll be a playoff team. But like they'll be top 6 in their respective conference. Spurs, yes. Because what's interesting here is Champagnie may not even start because you have the luxury of starting Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris could be your power forward. Dylan Harper is going to come off the bench. You could even go De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, Devin Vassell, Victor Wembanyama. I think D Fox, Stephon, Vassell, and Dylan Harper at that group of 4 will be playing a lot with Victor Wembanyama, and then you'll sprinkle in a Champagnie and you'll sprinkle in a Tobias Harris in there for sure. The veteran of Harrison Barnes will probably be, his role will probably be dumbed down to a Udonis Haslem type of role. Honestly, not an enforcer type of guy, but more so a locker room guy, right? Yeah, they were that close watching that series back, but they were right there. Every game they were up a lot. They just couldn't close games, which is a hard thing to do. The Knicks were battle tested. Denver Nuggets, yes. Love this starting five. Sleeper for this season. Sleeper for this season. And I keep bringing the Pacers up, and people be like, they're washed, bro. Like they're not gonna. We don't know what to expect from Tyrese Halliburton. And I was like, bro, look, this is the one thing about Tyrese I do know. His game style isn't predicated on high flying, playing above the rim. Point guard that shoots the ball and likes to get and go and fast break. Get and go, right? He'll be fine. This team, I feel like this team will be playing as if they didn't lose a beat. You still got Naismith, you still got Nembhard, you still got Pascal, you still got Tyrese, and you get Zubac. Yes, Miles Turner is more of a pick and pop who can knock down the corner tray or the top of the key tray. Yes, I get that. But Ivica Zubac, you in my personal opinion, you don't really lose too much. Taking out Miles Turner and entering Ivica Zubac, you might gain. He's good. I like this lineup. I like it a lot. Look, Zubac averaged 14 and 11 last year. We're going to round that up. 14, 11, and 2. On 60% from the field. I love it. Knicks. If we're keeping it 100, I'm not even trolling here. This starting lineup's top 2. It's not 3. This starting lineup's 2. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Micah Bridges, OG, Cat, all built around JB. This starting lineup is damn near perfect. I don't care about them being down 20 in almost every game, and they still came back and they won. This starting lineup allows Jalen Brunson to be Jalen Brunson. I would put OKC right behind this starting five. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And you lose Lou Dort, but Case and Wallace though is more of a scoring threat though. That's the only thing that does make it interesting because Case and Wallace is more of a scoring threat than Lou Dort ever was. And he could play almost just as good a defense as Lou Dort. So I think that's why they weren't really tripping off losing Lou Dort like that. And the second apron has something to say about that. But keep Isaiah Hartenstein, huge. Chet, J-Dub, who's going to be healthy this year, which is going to be a big key piece right there too. Then you enter someone like Case and Wallace, who can do everything Lou Dort could and shoot the ball better. And you have back-to-back MVP. 2 or 3. You can flip-flop 2 or 3. And then they're going to put Philadelphia 76ers. Because on paper, that roster at that one is ridiculous, bro. Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, Joel Embiid. This last thing I'm going to say about this, bro, because we've been talking about the freaking LeBron and Philadelphia 76ers for the past 8, 9 freaking days, I felt like. It hasn't even been that long, but I'm trolling. I'm always exaggerating. You're going to allow LeBron James to be the point guard. LeBron James is going to be the point guard of this team, playing with Tyrese Maxey, who is one of the best off-ball players in the league statistically. By the way, everybody's like, well, Tyrese is going to take a back seat and he's going to become less than. Go watch your film. Go watch your film. When James Harden was in Philly, Tyrese was off the ball. Last year, they put Tyrese on the ball because they got rid of Harden. Tyrese is very, very efficient and dang near even better off the ball. Now you pair him with one of the greatest players, not the greatest player of all time, on LeBron James. Crazy. VJ Edgecombe, great off the ball player, catch and shoot, spot up guy who can also slash. Joel Embiid, pick and pop, pick and short roll. Bron gonna eat that up. And then you got Jaylen Brown. DHO with JB is gonna be crazy. Because the DHO can be ran with Bron. It can be ran with Embiid. Shoot, Jaylen Brown can... Bro, they got so much flexibility on that team, bro. Everybody's saying there's only one basketball. Look, the last time we saw LeBron be a point guard, a legit true point guard, like the point guard of the team, they won an NBA championship in 2020 in the bubble when he led the league, I believe, in assist. And off the bench, you got Anthony Simons. You got who else we got off the bench? We got well, this is start 5, so that doesn't really matter off the bench. But LeBron's gonna play point guard, and it's gonna be exceptional to watch because you have LeBron, Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Maxey, 3 top fast break scorers. I believe they were the 3 top fast break scorers in the NBA last year, or 3 of the top. It's gonna get wicked, bro. Appreciate y'all for watching. Let me know the thoughts for you guys. I can't even speak right now, bro. I haven't ate no food. I am sorry. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I do think they got it right with Philly, the number 1 team for sure in terms of their starting 5. But I think the Miami Heat should be a little higher. They should be in the top 7, top 6 rank in my personal opinion. I wouldn't have the Atlanta Hawks that high in my personal opinion. The Kings are right where they need to be. Damn, it could be 29 to 30. Our starting 5 is abysmal. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all, man. Catch you in the next video. Peace.